Well, hello there. Today is a beautiful day in northwestern Illinois. We're just a couple miles south and east of a small town called Wyanett, Illinois. So hello to anyone from Wyanett or to anyone who's ever heard of it. It's a small town, about 900 people. We're on the Hennepin Canal today at Lock 17. This is a very old canal. Right behind us is Lock 17, and beyond that, Lock 16. So we're going to check out some of the sights around here. We already found this cool old bridge. I've walked a lot of miles along the canal, but I've never been to this particular spot, so I'm excited to check it out. The reason why I came here today is because this is one of the few spots along the canal where you can actually do tent camping, and I'm looking for a new tent camping spot. So far I'm liking what I see. This might be the new spot. Anyway, we're going to check out some gear today. We're going to try out a new recipe today when we stop for lunch, so make sure you stick around for that. And also, we're just out here to get a little exercise and a little, we'll call it mental health wellness, just to get out of the house. It's a beautiful day to have a day off. You might as well spend it outside on the trail. So here we are. Come along with me as we explore this area. You're not going to want to miss this video, so stick around. Here's something pretty cool. This old bridge right here used to have cars driving across it. Check this out. The whole bridge is on like sets of double railroad tracks, so they could slide this bridge all the way back so that barge traffic could get through the canal. That's pretty awesome. Man, what a cool place. I've already seen some fish jumping in the water. In fact, I've seen a lot of wildlife. I've seen some geese. I've seen some snakes. I saw a deer. I also saw snakes. There was a wild turkey just over there. And I've also seen snakes. No, I'm liking this. Like I said, I usually do my hiking along the feeder canal. That's a 28.5-mile long canal that feeds water into this. What is this, an 80-some mile long canal? They call this the main canal. I don't spend a whole lot of time on the main canal. I should spend more time because this is really nice down here. In fact, Wyanett, Illinois, you've got quite the hidden gem here. Because just south of their town, there's a spot you can pull off. And nice little picnic area along the canal. Then you've got Lock 17 behind us. Lock 16 right down there. And what, 130 miles of bike path. So yes, quite the hidden gem in Northwest Illinois. I know a lot of people do like bike camping along this trail. You can hear that goose I was talking about. But yeah, there's all sorts of adventure to be had right here. I hope wherever you're at, wherever that may be in the whole world, that you've got a cool place that you can go to, get outside, get a couple miles under your boots, and just enjoy nature. Get a little exercise. For me, much needed exercise. And try out some of your gear, you know? Especially if you're of the prepper survivalist mindset. It's one thing to have all the cool gear and gizmos and gadgets, but if you've never tried it out, how do you know it's worth a damn? Because you saw it on YouTube? Did you also see on YouTube where they post the link in the description below? It's because they get a commission if they sell you something, right? So, it's okay to buy something, but you also got to try it out. Either try it before you buy it, or buy it and then try it. But just because some dude on YouTube used it, doesn't mean it's any good. Wait a minute. I'm some dude on YouTube. Anyway. Like President Reagan said once, trust but verify. Oh, what do we got here? Here we are at the other lock. This should be lock 16. Yeah. Got quite the log jam on this side. Oh, there's a bridge. I should probably walk across it. Oh, look down here. Some of the giant old wooden doors that they would open and close to raise the level of water in here to let the barges through. If you remember the last lock we were at, the doors were missing. Wow. Let's check these out. Here's the mechanisms they would use for opening and closing the doors. How cool is this? Man, let me see if I can zoom in. Hang on. Look at that. Right in the concrete, they've got Roman numerals to tell you the depth of the water. I bet somewhere inside there, I bet somewhere inside the lock, they've got the same thing so they can match up the water height for the change in elevation throughout the landscape. Down these steps, that might be where I do a little fishing, or maybe down there. We'll see what that's all about. Man, look at this, a bonus lock. Lock number 3. Well, it's probably actually lock number 15, but it's the third one we've seen today. Look at that. So yeah, 3 locks, all within visual range of each other. There's that cool old steel bridge behind us that we were already on. And downstream here I see another cool old steel bridge. Man, what a place. I've never been here before. I'm definitely gonna have to come back. This place is awesome. Wyanett, Illinois. How did you keep this a secret for so long? So yeah, just right downstream there's another old cool steel bridge. I think we should hike all the way down there and check it out. It's one of the old telegraph poles from back in the day when a telegraph line ran along this entire towpath. Very few of these left. So this is the cool spot. You got this awesome lock. There's an old bridge, and just beyond it, you can see a tube. Let's see, here, and a tube there. One tube's for the canal to go under a road. The other tube, the trail goes through. So. I think this is my new favorite spot. Not too bad. Looky here, you can even drive to this spot. Definitely gonna have to come back here, like in a picnic situation. So yeah, this canal was built in the early 1900s. I want to say 1909, and it was pretty much obsolete by the time it was complete. The reason why is right here. The railroad. They built a railroad that runs right along the canal. And that pretty much took care of all the freight traffic that the canal used to carry. Man, I tell you what, one of these days, I'm gonna hop me a freight train and ride the rails right out of town. Never coming back. Probably not. If that's your sort of thing, the train hopping, it's totally illegal. I totally don't recommend it. But if you're into that, check out Stobe the Hobo on YouTube here. He's passed away now. Ironically enough, he died doing what he loved, hopping trains. But man, he made some good content. What I like most about his content was he made all of his own music. He played the piano, and he kind of played the early 90s grunge, a lot of early 90s stuff, but you know, the piano version of it. But yeah, Stobe the Hobo. If you're into trains or riding trains, check it out. Me, I just talk a lot of crap. I'm not going to ride any trains. Not today, at least. It's pretty sketchy. Looks pretty awesome with all those vines on it. Just down the trail a little further is another old iron bridge. Man. Well, what do you think? Does this look like a good fishing spot? It's pretty loud here with two waterfalls. You might have noticed you haven't seen a fishing pole yet. Let me show you what I got. So what I've got here is the K-bar backcaster. It's a hobo hand line. You kind of hand fish with it. The top, if you give it a little quarter of a turn, comes open, and you can store extra hooks, bobbers, sinkers. Yeah, we'll give it a try. On the channel there is a video I made about this. It's an older video, so you know the quality is kind of suspect. Anyway, check it out if you want. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below, and hopefully in the comments if I remember to. Check it out. Well, once again, no luck fishing. I only was able to fish for about half an hour. That's my fault. You see, what had happened was, in Wyanett, Illinois, the little town nearby here, they got a pretty cool antique shop. And I just had to peek my little head in, see if they had any old Coleman stoves. So I spent all my fishing time in the antique store. Well, it's getting to be about lunchtime, and I'm getting a little bit of a rumbly in my tumbly. So another mile of hiking or so. We should be back to the picnic area. I got something in my pack I'm going to cook up. It should do the trick. Andy Smith, Troop 91. I got your old canteen, homie. This is a legit vintage Boy Scout canteen. Don't laugh. So the popular thing nowadays is to do your trail camping in something like this. Just a 1-quart GI canteen. A canteen cup. It works great, tried and true. You can't go wrong. Now for boiling water, you got about half a quart that you can put in here. You got to boil it and then dump it in there. You're going to spill, you're going to get ashes in there. It's not ideal. But look at this. The opening is on the top where you can just set it right on top of your fire, or on top of your jet boil stove, and you can boil all the water in here. Take a cotton bandana, hold it over the opening, dip it in the water, fill it up. The cotton bandana will filter out all those chunks. Then you boil it to purify it, kill any kind of bacteria that's living in that water. There's plenty of it, you gotta kill it. But look at this design. I would say that's excellent for boiling water. Not so much cooking. And what I mean by that is you can't cook in this thing. You can cook inside of this. So But for boiling water, yeah, you could just set this right on your fire, right on top of your jet stove. Bob's your uncle. So today for lunch, we're going to boil up a little bit of bagged rice. We're going to add 1 pouch of Lipton onion soup and a pouch of premium white chicken. All the ingredients for this meal can be found at Dollar General. That's where I found these anyway. All right, normally I would let all that water drain out, but I'm going to keep some of that water. I didn't let it drain fully because I want some of that water in with my rice, so when I go to mix in my Lipton onion soup mix, it's got something to mix with. We'll move this scalding hot water out of the way so it doesn't spill on us. So these little mess kits are great, except for one problem. I like them because the sterno gas fits right inside of them, but the bottom of the sterno gas can get rust on it, and it leaves a little rusty ring around the bottom of your mess kit. And if you eat out of this thing, probably even if you cook out of it, everything's going to taste like rust. Let's add some chicken to it. All right, bon appetit. Let's see how it tastes. Very good. The 2 splashes of water definitely helped. It probably could have sat there for a few minutes. You get a few crunchies with the Lipton onion soup. But if I let it sit for a little while longer, you wouldn't get that. Otherwise, it tastes delicious. I'm very proud of this recipe. 3 simple ingredients: rice, Lipton onion soup mix, and a little bit of chicken. Perfect for a day like today, after a nice hike like today. If you're wondering why I brought 2 canteens today, I just wanted to compare them side by side. And I wanted to let Andy Smith from Troop 91 know that I've got his canteen. This is an old vintage Boy Scout canteen. It's got the Boy Scout logo marked right there and stamped into the metal right there. Now these GI canteens and the canteen cups are extremely useful and very popular with today's bushcrafter, outdoor, survivalist type person. And as you can see, I'm using it today. But just because something's old doesn't mean it's obsolete. Like this canteen, for example. Look at the design. Definitely, you don't see designs like this too much anymore. They've just fallen out of favor. But if I wanted to boil water to purify it, I could set this canteen right on the fire and let the flames boil that water and purify the water. Or I could set the canteen right on top of a jet boil stove. You know, of course, you'd want to take the lid off. And boil some water that way. If you leave the lid on, you're just going to create a lot of steam. Basically, you're making a steam bomb. So you need a way to vent the steam. But look at that. The only thing this is missing is some kind of something like this. But for this, some kind of metal cooking container or something, or even like a skillet that fit under it. I think a good canteen should also be a mess kit, and I think a good mess kit should also be your canteen. You get extra points if you could fit a sterno can in there, but like I said, the bottom of these can get kind of gnarly. But a mess kit that could hold the sterno stove and the jet stove and also a canteen and have something that I could cook in would be ideal. Anyway, Andy Smith, hit me up. I got your canteen. Well, I wish I had more time to fish. I can see them jumping. I know they're in there. But it's getting kind of late in the afternoon. I got to get back home. I got some chores to do. But for now, I'm going to finish my late shore lunch. That contains no fish, sadly. We're definitely going to pick up all our garbage and put it in the garbage can. It's right over there. I don't know why people got to throw garbage on the ground in these little picnic areas. There's usually garbage cans just a few steps away from wherever you're at. Anyway, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, you can still give it a thumbs up. I don't mind. Consider becoming a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button. If you have any thoughts or comments or suggestions, leave a comment down below. I'd appreciate it if you did. Anyway, I'll see you all down the trail somewhere. Until then, have a great day. Like today. Oh, I'm just making it's facing this way. I make YouTube videos. How are you today?